TGIF, we got some RBI props for you and a full 15-game slate. Let's talk some baseball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven. We have made it to the end of the week, and we got a great 15-game slate of baseball to talk about. No more of that ugly 5-game slate that it was yesterday, but we'll talk about our bets in just a second. Just a reminder, NBA Best Bets video and preview for the 2 play-in games, win or go home, do or die. Those games are going to be exciting, but that video is out now, so go check it out. It's Friday, so that means, like I mentioned in the cold intro, we are going to have some RBI props along with our best bets. So we're going to have a lot of fun. Let's get right into it. And I got a crazy baseball fun fact that I'm going to share with you. So here we go. This is the Ricky Henderson edition. If you're too young to know Ricky Henderson, I don't know what to tell you. Ricky Henderson spent more time of his career as the all-time stolen base leader than not being the leader. That's insane. To be an all-time leader in something for the majority of your career is insane. Also, he had a game where he went 0 for 0 with 4 walks, 5 stolen bases, and 4 runs. It is the only 4-5-4 game in history, and I can't imagine that ever happening again. And then finally, he retired as the stolen base leader for 2 franchises, the Oakland A's and the New York Yankees. These are teams that were both 103 years old at the time. Absolutely bonkers numbers there. But that was Ricky Henderson. He was the man. Anyways, in this video, we're going to recap yesterday. It wasn't good, but it was a small little slate. 1.5 bets. Good hitter matchups. And then we're going to give you the good pitcher strikeout matchups, the pitcher report. And then, of course, we end it with those best bets, including some RBI props. Went 3-1 last week on those plus money RBI props. Let's see if we can do it again. And then we end it with the bets recap. So hit that like button, leave a comment below. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. This is an awesome community, positive community, and we have a lot of fun day in and day out talking sports. So I appreciate all of you for all the support this week. Let's end with a bang, and it starts with a recap. All right, let's get into this terrible bets recap. We lost 1.5 units on the day. Over 8.5 Angels Rays. Just a terrible read on my part. I mean, the Rays went up 2-0 in the first, and that was like it. There was just nothing in that game. Angels had multiple chances. The Rays had multiple chances, like first and second, nobody out, and did nothing. And I mean nothing with it. Double plays, strikeouts. It just was one of those games. So I take the blame for that. I shouldn't have forced that bet. But this second one also, Harold Ramirez and Lee. Lee got a hit. I think he got multiple hits tonight. But Ramirez ruined it. I almost went with Ahmed Rosario. He wasn't out on all the sports books. Should have just waited. He got a triple in his first at bat. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Either way, it was just a crappy slate. I didn't want to chase any losses. I didn't want to add a third or fourth bet or anything in such a bad slate. So we just take a small loss. We move on, but we got to get better. So that's what we are. 0-2. That is the overall record. It is time to bounce back. I am sick of this middling stuff. We got to get some winners. But anyways, before we get to those best bets, let's talk some good hitter matchups. All right, we got 11 good hitter matchups for you today on a Friday, and we got some Dodger players, some Cardinal players. Mookie Betts up there, 10 for 26, 7 extra base hits versus Sean Manaea. And then Nolan Arenado and Goldie, the 1-2 punch in St. Louis that isn't punching at all. They are struggling this year a little bit. Arenado's coming on a little bit, but 6 for 17, Goldie 7 for 16 against Freddie Peralta. It's not an easy matchup. Misses a ton of bats, but Goldie has 2 home runs, Arenado 3. Other than that, we got only 1 Brave player, it looks like, which is actually a shock. But other Dodgers, we got Will Smith hitting 500 off Sean Manaea, however you want to say it. And then Freddie Freeman over there, another Dodger 4 for 9 with a bomb off of him. So should be an interesting matchup because he is a better pitcher now, obviously, in the last year or so. Yeah, those are the other hitter matchups. If you want to bet Willy Adames, go for it. Riley Green, also 4 for 11 against Joe Ryan. So those are the best ones. Now, let's talk some arms. All right, we got 2 good pitcher strikeout matchups for you, and it starts with the man with 2 first names, Joe Ryan versus the Detroit Tigers. Tigers' 8th highest K percentage versus righties this season, 25.2%. And Mr. Ryan, 197 Ks in 161.2 innings last year. And then this year so far, 5, 7, and 12 against the Royals, Guardians, and Tigers. I was on the under against the Guardians, and he made me look stupid. That's pretty impressive. He gets 7 Ks against the Guardians and 12 versus the Tigers, and now he faces them again. It's one of those things, what's gonna give? Are the hitters gonna make good adjustments, or the pitcher's going to in the second time you see him in like a few weeks? So, anyways, that's Joe Ryan. The second one, fastball Freddie Peralta versus those Cardinals. Cardinals 10th highest K percentage versus righties at 24.2. Not extremely high, but I mean, it's still decent when you're over 24%. Freddie Peralta, 210 Ks in 165.2 innings. And what has he done this year? He's just picked up where he left off. 8, 7, and 11 strikeouts versus the Mets, Seattle Mariners, and the Baltimore Orioles. I mean, that's just absolutely impressive. That's mowing them down. So, anyways, those are the 2 best pitcher strikeout matchups. And now let's take a peek at the pitcher report. All right, here is page 1 of the pitcher report for Friday. Got some interesting pitchers going, including the man himself, Justin Verlander, making his first start of the season at age, I don't even know, 40? Something like that, but he continues to dominate somehow. And then we got AJ Puck, Jameson Taillon, just from yesterday, same matchup. Puck, those K numbers especially are higher because he was a reliever last year. So just want to remind everyone again, Taillon making his first start of the season. These are all 2023 numbers again. And then Joe Ryan up there, like we talked about, having a good matchup. And Crochet, those K numbers are a lot higher this year than that 18.8% as well. So anyways, that is the pitcher report. If you're new to the channel, on the bottom, you will see the averages just so you guys have an idea what's good, what's not. Some of you like to use the walk column for if you're betting walks allowed, things like that, or Ks. Hopefully this helps you out. So take a screenshot. Let's go check out page 2 now. And we got the battle of the lefties and 2 of the top offenses in Atlanta with the Rangers versus the Atlanta Braves. And then there's Freddie Peralta, like we talked about, against a guy who does not miss as many bats as Peralta, and Mr. Kyle Gibson. Other than that, Emerson Hancock has been a struggle for the most part. He had, I think, 1 good start for the Mariners, and now he has to go to Coors Field against Dakota Hudson. There could be some runs in that one. And then Rodriguez, which, he hasn't made many starts. He's very new to the league, and now he has to go to the San Diego Padres. That's going to be a tough one. Rodriguez had an okay first start. Then Sean Manaea, like I said, going to the Dodgers, who were probably pissed off. They're like 11-8, 11-9, not what they expected. Just lost the series to the Nats. We'll see how they come out. And then the bottom one is the matchup of the season. Not really. It's the Scott Boras matchup, guys. The last 2 pitchers pretty much to get signed in the offseason, and they didn't even get big deals. Jordan Montgomery already dumped Scott Boras, I believe. And how about this? We get to see them face each other now. Montgomery is making his first start of the season. Snell has already started this year, and he struggled a little bit. So we'll see how they come out. 2 rusty pitchers still trying to get in the groove of the season. But that is the pitcher report and all my rambling about all the pitchers. And now it's time for the best bets. All right, this segment of the show is brought to you by our sponsor, Better Bet. That's BTR Bet, the best place to find, track, analyze, and share your bets. Click that link below in the description. This first one, we are going to Philadelphia. The Phillies hosting the Chicago White Sox. Phillies moneyline -170. White Sox moneyline +142. The total in this game is 7.5 runs. Get some drinks, grab a friend. We're heading down to Nerfy Town for a little party, baby. That's right. Give me the Nerfy in this game at -115 on DraftKings. Again, I'm just doing a half unit because I'm just a chicken. That's all. I just do a half unit on Nerfies for some reason. It's the bet I'm actually hitting the most somehow. Spencer Turnbull versus Garrett Crochet, like we talked a little bit about earlier. Turnbull's been good. 1.80 ERA this year. Rocky start last time out, but he gets to face the worst lineup in baseball now. I mean, let's just face it. It's the White Sox are terrible. They have a couple guys down. Chicago, I'm not even kidding. They're averaging 2.11 runs per game. That's not in the first 5. That's in the entire game. That's right. I just can't even imagine scoring 2.1 runs and being a fan of that team because I'm a fan of the Mariners and they're not much better. But nothing about their offense scares me at the top of the order. I expect that to be the easier one. We will see. Obviously, 1 inning, it just takes 1 swing. But we just need Turnbull to have the command that he had of his first 2 starts when he only walked 1 guy combined as opposed to 4 walks from his last game. So I think he'll bounce back. Just need 3 outs. Garrett Crochet, he's a lefty. He's been missing bats at a very high level this season. 31 strikeouts in 22.2 innings. And the Phillies, they got some lefties at the top of the order, so it might help to have a lefty just in this first inning at least. He's going to face a guy like Kyle Schwarber, who is always a threat to just hit a solo bomb. Schwarber last year hit 188 against lefties with a 34% K rate. That is really bad. So hopefully that just leads to a K. because one lefty's striking out a lot of guys, or a lot of players, and Schwarber's striking out against lefties. So Harper is a threat towards anyone. He can hit righties or lefties. He actually has a little bit more power toward lefties, but he hasn't exactly been dominating this year. Let's face it, and not a lot of Phillies hitters have. So it'll probably be the harder part of the Nerfy, because they got some guys that have some power in that lineup. But I just need 3 outs from Crochet. Hopefully he can just miss some bats against this inconsistent Phillies lineup at the top of the order. And let's get 6 up, 6 down. Bet number 1, Nerfy Town, baby, in Philadelphia. Let's move on to bet number 2. All right, bet number 2 is a hitter parlay. Give me the man, the myth, the legend, Marcell Ozuna and Gunnar Henderson. 1+ hit each at -114 on FanDuel. Can you tell I'm excited to announce Marcell Ozuna? Do I really need to say anything about him? We're 4-0 on his bets. He's just unbelievable. He's just unbelievable. He's in the middle of the league's longest current hitting streak of 16 games right now. I understand it won't last forever, but I mean, what else do I do here, guys? He's hitting .352 so far this season. He's facing a very hittable lefty in Andrew Heaney, who's given up 12 hits in 12 innings so far. The 32-year-old Mr. Heaney is also a below-average strikeout pitcher. He just doesn't miss a ton of bats. And then on top of that, Osuna's at home. He's hitting .417 at home this year. It's not a fluke, because last year he hit .301 at home. He absolutely rakes at the ATL. My hands are completely tied. What kind of man and person would I be if I didn't bet Ozuna in a good matchup at home? I just kind of have to at this point, until he shows me otherwise. So give me Mr. Ozuna as the first one. The second one, the young kid, Gunnar Henderson. Speaking of scorching hot hitters, holy smokes, he is 10 for his last 21, and he has 2+ hits in 4 straight games. If you want to throw a sprinkle on over 1.5 hits again for the 5th straight time, go for it. I don't usually bet over 1.5 hits, but he has 1+ hit in 8 of his last 9 games. He is hitting .288 this year. If you don't know, he's the leadoff hitter for the Orioles. I'm expecting 4 to 5 at bats here. I think we get some runs in this game, but this will be the second time for him seeing Alec Marsh of the Royals, who actually pitched well against the Orioles in that one start earlier this year. But since then, he has not looked good. He's struggled even against bad lineups. I think Gunnar Henderson and the Orioles hitters are going to make some adjustments. So give me Gunnar Henderson to just stay hot, get a lot of chances, and I just need 1 hit from him. And also, by the way, I heard something where Gunnar Henderson is like leading the MLB in exit velocity, so he is hitting some balls extremely hard right now. So give me Gunnar Henderson 1+ hit and Mr. Ozuna 1+ hit as my second best bet. All right, before we move to those RBI props, I got one more best bet for you, and it takes us out to St. Louis. We got the Cardinals hosting the Milwaukee Brewers in an NL Central showdown. Brewers moneyline -124, Cardinals moneyline +106 with a total of 7.5 runs. It's simple. Give me the Brewers moneyline as my best bet at -124 on FanDuel. It is Freddie Peralta versus Kyle Gibson. That almost could be enough said, but I'm going to talk about it. Freddie Peralta, we talked about it a million times. This guy misses a ton of bats if you don't know him. 2.55 ERA this year, one of the highest strikeout guys in the entire MLB. He's only given up 5 total earned runs in 3 starts this season, including 1 earned run exactly in 2 of those 3 starts. One of the starts was in Baltimore. He gave up 1 run and struck out 11. It was unbelievable. He's given up only 10 hits in 17.2 innings. That's right. He's not an easy person to hit. He's not an easy person to square up, that's for sure. He's faced the Cardinals 3 times last season. He had 2 good outings, 1 bad outings, whatever that's worth. But the Cardinals' offense has just been pretty bad this year. Let's face it. Goldie and Arenado's come on a little bit lately, but Goldie's just like disappeared. I don't know what's going on with him. Jordan Walker's not living up to the hype. I mean, he goes up and down the lineup. It just hasn't been pretty for them. And obviously, they could turn it around, but it's just not probably going to happen overnight. Anything can happen in one baseball game. But they're going to have a hard time scoring off Mr. Peralta. And then we go to Kyle Gibson on the other side. He's almost the opposite of Peralta. He does not miss many bats. He only has 11 strikeouts in 19 innings. He's already given up 5 home runs this year. That's right. Maybe a home run prop on a Brewers player if you want. But 6.16 ERA. He's 36 years old, has over a 6 ERA, playing one of the best young pitchers in the game. And the Brewers are almost a pick 'em. It's just, the whole thing is mind-boggling. But then we move to the offenses. What do you think? Maybe the offenses are even. The Brewers are a top 5 offense this year. Top 5 so far. Will it happen forever? I don't know. It might be a little shocking. But right now, they are who they are. They are who we thought they were. Contreras, Churio, Frelick, Terang, Willie Adames, Christian Yelich is out right now. All those guys are swinging the bat really well right now. I'm not understanding this line exactly. We're getting a struggling veteran versus Freddie Peralta, the better offense, the better starting pitching. Bullpen's ERA right now have been about even, so whatever that means to you. But I think Peralta can go pretty deep in this game, deeper than Gibson. Give me the bats. Give me the better team right now in the Brewers on the money line as my third and final best bet. But now it's time for the Friday RBI props. All right, here we go. It's that time of the week where we give out our Friday RBI props. We started it last week. We went 3-1. Again, I'm putting only a quarter unit on these because I am a chicken. Do whatever you guys want to do. I got 4 more for you. Again, we only need to hit 2 of 4 to profit. RBI props require some luck, obviously, but just need 2 of 4. If we get all 4, I would be absolutely thrilled. But here we go. I'm just going to talk about each one briefly. Marcell Ozuna, we start out 1+ RBI. We know who he is. He's the leading RBI guy in the MLB. That's right. Not only is he getting hits, he is driving in a crap ton of runs. Enough said. He's an incredible human being. Adolis Garcia, 1+ RBI, plus 150 on DraftKings on this one. Double dipping in the same game. Don't love to do that all the time, but I'm okay with it on RBI. He is tied for the 4th most RBIs in the league. He hits cleanup, obviously, for one of the best lineups in baseball. Facing a lefty in Chris Sale, who has a 4.5 ERA. He's already given up a few home runs. Braves, I mean, they have a bottom 10 bullpen ERA as well. So I think between Sale and the bullpen, Adolis Garcia will get his chances. Maybe just hit a home run and take care of it because he's able to do that. But he's been the man when it comes to RBI so far. Third one, Mookie Betts of the Dodgers, 1+ RBI. I'm getting plus 160 on this. He's also tied for 4th in RBIs this season. That's right. So far, we have the 1st, 4th, and 4th best RBI guy. He has 18. Excuse me, lost my voice. 10 for 26 this year, in his career with 7 extra base hits and 3 home runs versus Sean Manaea. You saw that on the good hitter matchups. I am just repeating it. He has a great matchup. He is one of the best RBI guys out there. Why not Mookie Betts at plus 160? And then the 4th one, Juan Soto. That's right. We got some big names this week. He is 8th in the MLB with 17 RBI. So we have 4 of the top 8 guys. I mean, it wasn't planned, but that's just how it worked out. He is facing a lefty. I know Soto is a lefty. That doesn't really matter, guys. Soto hits for power. He does anything against righties and lefties. And the lefty we're talking about is Mr. Tyler Alexander, 6.46 ERA. He has given up 20 hits already in 15.1 innings. Behind him, the Rays, is the highest bullpen ERA in the entire major league. So he is going to have his chances. He could just hit a bomb. He's playing in the wiffle ball park there in New York. So give me Juan Soto. So give me 4 of the top 8 leading RBI guys of the year. So far this season. Again, we only need 2 of 4 to profit. I am not parlaying these. I'm just going to say that over and over. You guys can do whatever you want. But it's a quarter unit each for each of these. So if we do go 1-4, which will happen sometimes, RBI props are hard to hit. We just lose 1 total unit. So those are the best bets and the Friday RBI plays. If we had any added bets, it will be in the pinned comments on X and on Discord in the morning. So thanks for listening. Let's check out the bets recap. All right, here's the big card for Friday, April 19th. We got the Nerfy, baby, in the White Sox-Phillies game for a half unit. And then give me Marcell Ozuna and Gunnar Henderson, 1+ hit each at minus 114 on FanDuel. And then the third best bet, give me the Brewers on the money line at minus 124. And those are the RBI props on Friday this week. Again, a quarter unit each. These are all individual bets for me. You can parlay whatever you want. But Ozuna, Garcia, Betts, and Soto, 4 of the top 8 RBI guys in the MLB is who we are rolling with this week. And that's what we got. Man, oh man, let's get another winning Friday like we had last week. We need a good day. I might add another play, like I said, it'll be in the pinned comments on X and on Discord. I'll just keep repeating that. And then NBA best bets for the weekend playoff games. They will be released probably tomorrow on Friday for the Saturday games. But go check out the NBA video for the 2 play-in games. It is out now. What a wild week in sports. It's been a lot of work doing 2 videos every week or every single night for us, but we love talking sports and love doing it with you guys. So thank you guys. Appreciate it. Hope everyone has a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.